Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So we're back to looking at more anime films. In this case, looking at the 1985 anime film Night on the Galactic Railroad. Directed by Aburo Tsuji. It's based on a 1934 fantasy novel. The plot follows a young cat named Giovanni who travels on a train with his classmate Campanella for the Milky Way galaxy. Oh my god. I've seen, when it comes to, say, animated films, this film is gorgeous to look at. It is absolutely beautifully animated. When I watched the dub of this version of the film, it was on, because every version of the film were, in a way, when it comes to streaming, you had, you were, pay money to it, and I was like, I want to find this, this streaming version. So I found it on Roku. So that was the streaming, the dub version of it. And one of the things that I really liked about this film, I didn't realize it though, is most of this film takes place in what I think is supposed to be Italy. At least I think so, based on all the since where all the characters are living. It's so close to the water, and most of the characters are taking boats, trains, and all that. But I gotta say, even though at the beginning of the film, when it's the character of Giovanni, you just think he's waiting for his dad to come back home. His mom is sick, but he's still going out, trying to do things he has to do for his mother, like going to get her milk because, they weren't able to get that. And also, in a way, trying to go on an adventure. At the beginning of the film, it's the Centaurus Festival, or the Festival of Stars. As they say, the film goes on, the two friends go on a train ride through different, sightseeing adventures, they see an apple orchard, or an older man who is after he gets off at a stop, but around that point, you start to see all the symbolism that the film is going for, especially in the sequence when the Titanic sequence, in which characters come onto the train. But this movie just broke me. There's when it's revealed, this young man, this little girl, and this younger boy, they were all they were in a boat accident. I think it's supposed to be the Titanic, but
氷山にぶつかって船が沈みましてね。私はこの子たちの家庭教師です。この子たちのお父さんが急なようで2ヶ月前、一足先にお帰りになったので、後から立ったのですよ。
the way it's animated beautifully, there's no what, say the characters are just listening to them tell their story and all that. it's just so animated powerfully that like the way the characters talk about their story is just so heart-wrenching. But I feel like one thing that you start to get the idea of, like, this ship is in a way made for those that are passing away, and then you start to think, like, why is Giovanni and Campanella, why are they both getting on this train? Why are they? But as, like, each character in a way gets off the train, when the two, like, when Giovanni says, like, hey, let's be best friends forever, let's continue on this journey, like, together and all that. And when Campanella, like, he suddenly's gone.
Campanella, 僕たち一緒に行こうね。カンパネルラ!
It's that moment you realize, like, you feel like he passed away, because as soon as, like, Giovanni breaks down, he in a way wakes up, but he realized, I need to go back and go get the milk for my mom, because they said come back later. But at that point, when he gets back in town, his friend passes away because he ended up falling into the lake, and I just thought, it's trying to break me movie, and it did. It really did. Yeah, I gotta say, this film is just, like, beautifully made. It's there are, like, some moments with, and, like, Christian ideas, like, say the, a lot of imagery and all that, or also a lot of astrological things, like, say the Scorpius in a way.
Scorpion of Baldora Field. The scorpion killed other bugs and ate them. Then one day, a weasel found him. The scorpion fled and fell into a deep well. He was trapped and knew he'd die. Then he thought to himself, how often have I eaten other creatures? And now, the one time that I was prey, I fled in utter terror. And look what came of that. I'll die in this well, alone.
It's still done beautifully, and, like, the idea of the film is basically trying to tell kids about the idea of death and how, yes, it all comes to us at one point in our lives, and but at the same time, I'd say this film is still a film that you could probably show to kids, and, like, I feel like they would get something out of it, and the fact that it's still animated, it's animatedly nice, it has cute cat characters. At the same time, the one thing I feel like, I don't know if, like, kids today will be, like, like this as much, because, it's not more goofy, it's more of a film from, like, like a film that kids would have seen if they grew up in the 80s. But at the same time, I feel like this is a film that, you seen as a kid, kind of in a way, toughen you in a way, based on how dramatic it gets ever so often. And yeah, I am highly recommending this film. And I do like how we had, in the dub of it, they had Veronica Taylor, who is the voice of Ash Ketchum, as well. It just made, like, but at the same time, I feel like all the actors they got to play for the characters, it just makes you have, like, most of the film is taking place on this train, but at the same time, it feels like you're going on a long train ride, and it feels comforting, even when those moments are just heart-wrenching, like, the Titanic moment, Campanella leaving the train. you are going on that train ride and you are like having those bit of emotions, like say happiness, sadness, and all that, and it truly works. But I do love how the film ends with Giovanni says that he is going to continue on, even though, since, you know, for his friend and others. But yeah, highly recommend this film.
何が幸せかわからないです。本当にどんな辛いことでも、それが正しい道を進む中での出来事なら、峠の登りよりもみんな本当の幸いに近づく一足ずつですから。
ああ、そうです。ただ一番の幸いに至るために、いろいろの悲しみも皆おぼしめしです。